and underhanded. It really makes me dislike CNN for doing what they do, and they've changed algorithms because before, things that were critical of CNN, you could find them easily. Now, not so much, and it's like they've really forced they've really forced a lot of these internet sites to basically change their algorithms and even shut down basically independent creators that are critical.
So you had a promoted tweet get rejected,
Yes.
basically. Were you notified of any other actions, like a strike or any other kind of correspondence?
No, I haven't. Have you looked at our email process? Have you looked at any of our have you seen any of the emails that we gotten any emails from Twitter?
I do see that they successfully you did something today. I don't know what it was. Something went through. So
Well, maybe.
yeah, so no problem with that. Whatever it was that you put. Did you do another one today?
No, I certainly did not.
Oh, well, I'll go over that with you after.
Yeah, but no, yeah, but like I said, it's become harder for independent creators to do things, and I think CNN is largely behind that. I think they have successfully lobbied a lot of these internet companies to basically stifle that which is critical of mainstream news, because like I said, there seems to be a lot of activist journalists out there, and they have a very strong bent, and they're far more sensitive than before. They're far more emotional. Before, newscasters were far more stoic. They were far more detached, and that's not the case today. And that's on both sides of the aisle. But I see that on like MSNBC, and
here's my take.
I see that on CNN.
Here's my take.
Yeah.
It's always been a rigged game. It's always been sensationalism and propaganda. But there is something called the Smith-Mundt Act, and I urge everyone listening to look at the Smith-Mundt Act. And what it was is an anti-propaganda law, and that law changed during I think it was late in the Obama administration, which if you think about it, there's been a whole lot of news stories that have been sensationalized, if not pure propaganda, that has hit the airwaves. And we've been bombarded with it through our media outlets. Look at the Smith-Mundt Act and the changes that were made, and you'll see why that's allowed at all.
Yeah, I mean those are some good points to be made. I don't know. I don't like the government interfering with anything, and I don't like business.
I think we'll have to do a whole show on that, just on that law.
Yeah. But I'm not a fan of government interfering with anything. I'm also not in favor of big business also interfering with information. Americans have the right to information. They have the right to think for themselves. To me, I dislike CNN the most because they put up a false front that I see as untrue. And, like they're the arbiters of news and truth. And really they're not, because if you can silence your critics, then you're really not you're not a legitimate news organization. If you fight for censorship and fight for silencing your critics, and I don't know how true that is, but I've heard that CNN is tied in with a lot of activists. They're tied in with the civil rights industrial complex, and they will censor their opposition, and they will censor that which is critical of them. And they, like I said, there used to be, you could type in CNN is fake news or Don Lemon should be fired, and you would see a slew of commentators saying why Don Lemon should be fired and why CNN is fake news. Not anymore. And it's completely changed. And it's like, why? Why can't we examine the facts? Why can't we go out and make decisions for ourselves? Why do you have to control the narrative? Anyway, that's all I have to say about that topic, Joe. Yeah.
All right. We're at 21 minutes anyways, so go ahead and check us out. If you're checking it out on Twitter, make sure if you just hear this part, make sure you're hearing part 1. It's a two-parter on YouTube, but thanks for listening to Transparency and Merit. Go to our website, transparencyandmerit.com. Like, subscribe, do all those things that you do on YouTube, and let's make this grow. And so we could do longer shows and give a broader perspective, take callers, do all the things we really love to do. Anything else, Mr. Midnight Movie? No, sorry, Brian? No. All right.
No, I'm good. Let's, yeah.
All right. That's it.